What did I just see? I just saw something. The Marksman, Liam Neeson's new film. And it's fine, you know, he's just fairly settled into this old man Neeson role at the moment, isn't he? Just like lone gunman against bad people. In this one, he's like got a ranch on the border of Mexico, and a couple of people trying to sneak across on the run from the cartel. And Liam Neeson just happens to be there at the wrong time, and as a result, the mother gets killed in the firefight, and the dying wish is that Liam takes her son to family in Chicago. He's not going to do it. He contacts the Border Patrol to take care of it, but she left a bag of money in the car, and he really needs the money to pay off his ranch, otherwise it's going to be sold out from under him. So even though he could have just kept the money, his conscience won't let him, so he decides to take the kid to Chicago. He knows if the kid does go back to Mexico, then he's just going to get killed by the cartel. So a couple of reasons for him to try to do this. So it's just a road movie with Liam Neeson and this Mexican kid going up to Chicago and being chased by the cartel at the same time. And so that's fine. That's a fine movie. I mean, there's nothing really in this to elevate it, though. Like, the action isn't the action is small scale. It's nothing big or that interesting, really. So, it's not like Taken, where he's kind of hunting people down. Here he's just driving and trying not to get shot, and occasionally shooting some other people. So it's fine. Yeah, there's really not much to say. Hot mama, but she's dead. Yeah, see ya. So I just watched a movie called Pistol Opera. 2001 film from Seijun Suzuki. And I guess if I'm honest with myself, I have to say I didn't really enjoy it. But it's kind of one of those films where there's just a lot of interesting things happening on screen throughout the film that I do like. That I want to say I like it, but it's just it doesn't really kind of come together. So lots the parts don't make a whole. But certainly by the end, I think there was enough narratively there that I felt like it was a cohesive film, and I kind of did enjoy it. Yes, I don't know. I don't know if if I recommend it, it's not a strong recommendation. It'd just be a recommendation to specific people at a specific time. If you're asking me, maybe I'd recommend it to you, maybe I wouldn't. But yeah, don't know. certainly visually a lot going for it. Narratively, it's kind of I guess it's the story of like an assassin's guild and someone trying to, I don't know, take them all out, or some kind of competition to do with ranking. So it's like a lady who seems to be the agent for Stray Cat, who's number 3 ranked in this assassination guild. But maybe she's not really an agent, maybe she's actually the killer 100 Eyes, and this is just some long con to get rid of Stray Cat. I'm not actually sure if she was an agent kind of in the end, or if it was either or, both. Anyway, it's a great looking film that was a little bit dull because it didn't really have much of a story going for it, or much of a narrative kind of direction, I guess. Like, it's not like Suzuki, I think, was interested in telling just a straight up story. That's not his style. He's you know, he really is just a stylist. He's making an art film rather than a story. So yeah, it had stuff I liked, beautiful colours as typical for Suzuki, but yeah, I seem to remember Branded to Kill being more enjoyable, but I'm not sure if that's the case, and I can't think of other films of his I've seen. I certainly own a bunch of them. I guess I just haven't got around to watching them. Anyway, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. It wasn't really engaging. So, was it Friday night? I think Friday night I went to Goma to watch Climax, filmed by Gaspar Noé. It had a bit of a reputation for being somewhat of a graphic film, so perhaps I was a little concerned about going, but like Gaspar Noé is a kind of important voice in horror films. So I think if you have an interest in horror films, which I do, then yeah, kind of want to keep up with what he's doing. So yeah, I went along, and it was actually quite a solid film. It's supposedly based on a true story. There's a dance group which is kind of rehearsing in this secluded hall, possibly some kind of church hall or something. So the film kind of opens with these kind of interviews for the dance, and then kind of picks up like 3 days into it, and just kind of this kind of post-rehearsal party, which someone spikes the sangria and people start tripping out, and yeah, kind of the film degrades from there in terms of human behavior. So I thought this film had a reputation for being quite explicit sexually. Thankfully, I don't think it really was, but it was a bit of a nightmare. It was fair to call it a horror film, but maybe because it is based on a true story, it wasn't as I guess bloody as I was hoping it would end up being. Yeah, so the cast is pretty good. The characters they play aren't necessarily that likable. You know, they're not awful. I mean, some of them are just dogs, you know, just trying to get in anywhere they can. So, yeah, you know, just a bit of a dog. But, you know, not the total scum. But anyway, the cast do a good job. It's well acted. Direction is pretty solid. During the dance stuff, I was kind of thinking, wouldn't it be nice if, you know, you'd studied a bit of Justin Lin a bit more and kind of made the dancing a little bit cooler, but never mind, it's fine. And there are some good shots in the dancing as well. It's not all just substandard. I mean, none of it's substandard, but none of it's step up 2 or 3. Yeah, the other interesting thing before I get into more of the horror is just the interviews we see on kind of video cassette on a TV, and on one side is a whole bunch of books, which I couldn't really work out what they were, but on the other side is a whole bunch of VHS, and that's kind of, yeah, seems to be suggesting the direct references that Gaspar Noé's using. So, you know, very surrealist and horror films in the VHSs. So yeah, so let's get to the tripping out and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty nightmarish, actually, like that descent into madness that everybody's going through. It was effective. I really quite enjoyed that part of it. But then he does this thing for the final 15 or 20 minutes where the camera is turned upside down and we're kind of viewing everything upside down and in extreme close-up on people, and that got annoying. That took me out of the film. Yeah, that was frustrating. So up until then I thought it was pretty amazing, but then I just go, oh, nah, you've lost me. So that was disappointing. The other positive thing about the direction is a lot of it is just one take. So I haven't read up on how long these one takes were, but it could have been like 15-20 minute just single takes. So quite a technical feat, and really good examples of it. So he did a great job with that. But ultimately, despite those positives, like all that, the 15-20 minutes really kind of ruined the film for me at the end. So it's not something I'm interested in owning. I'm not disinterested in seeing it again, but certainly not something I'm going to seek out anytime soon. Yeah, really no need to watch it again, which is pity, because I thought most of it was quite good. But really, yeah, the ending ruined it for me. So, c'est la vie. Alright, yeah.